Welcome to Oceanside Yoga with Anna Kay. I am honored to have the opportunity to practice with you. Please find a comfortable seated position, and we begin by giving ourselves permission to let go of any other tasks that may be weighing on us. Thank yourself for taking this time. Let's start deepening our breathing and take some long, full, deep breaths. Opening the belly, expanding the ribs, and filling our lungs entirely before fully releasing. This deep breathing signals to our brains that we are safe and allows our nervous system to turn off the fight or flight mode. At any moment during your day, you can come back to this breath. You can come back to this feeling. You can choose to talk to your nervous system and decide how you want to feel. As we practice today, please remember that every person's body is different, and we can practice meeting ourselves exactly where we are. Let's begin. First, with our neck, we're going to drop our head over to one side or the other, finding stillness here. When you're ready, we can drop our head forward slowly, rolling over to the other side. Let's continue that roll. If it feels comfortable, you can drop your head back, around, and continue on the circle. Nice and gentle. Letting gravity take your head as much as you can. And we'll reverse the circle, other direction. We'll finish that circle and find stillness back at center. Now we're going to tilt our head over to one shoulder. That same side arm is going to come up and around, wrapping our head, placing our fingers at the base of our skull, the top of our neck. So this on itself is a very nice stretch because you have a little pull, but if you want, you can take it further. We can even take our fingers and kind of walk them up the side of our neck, giving a little massage, deepening it as much as we'd like. And you can also reach out your hand to the side. See how that changes the stretch. If you'd like to bring some movement here, we can take some little circles, one direction and the other. With the power of your fingertips, you can decide how far you want to pull away, how much you want to deepen the stretch. Let's move over to the other side. So releasing that arm, coming back to center. Now I'm tilting my head towards the other ear, wrapping my arm up and around, fingers connecting with the base of my skull. If you'd like to give yourself a little pull, a little walk with your fingertips, giving yourself a massage. And if you'd like to, you can reach out with your fingertips and find that gentle movement. Releasing whenever you're ready, and we'll come back to center. Next, to warm up our spine, we'll start doing some seated cat and cows. Now, we can go nice and slow. Again, going back to your deep breath from the beginning of class. As we inhale, we're going to lift our chest, open our shoulders, bring back your elbows if you'd like, and we'll look up. And as you exhale, we'll send our fingers forward, find a curve through the belly button and the spine, dropping our head. Continue on at your own speed, opening as you inhale, closing as you exhale. Remember, this is your practice. Your body practicing these poses doesn't have to look like anyone else's body. You go at the speed that feels good for you. You pause anywhere that it feels nice. And you always have that option anywhere that you'd like during this practice. Finish one more round, and we will meet back at center. Wonderful. Coming back to our seated position, we'll do some nice side bends, and we'll also bring some movement in here. So we'll bring our arms up, getting nice and tall, reaching your fingertips to the sky. And when you're ready, we'll place one hand down by our side. We can move it further away or even come down to our forearm, whatever feels right for you. We'll reach our hand up and out of our hip first, and with an open chest, we're going to reach over to the side. So more than we're trying to bend over far, we're trying to reach up out of the hip, finding length through the whole side body. And then even a little tilt will give you a nice stretch. Take a big deep breath here. Open up all those little muscles in between your ribs. And we'll release, coming back to center. Both arms up again, reaching up high. Now the other hand down to our side or to our forearm, reaching up and out of our hip before we bend over. Coming back up, we're going to find some movement in this side bend. So we're going to take our hand to our side, do that nice side bend, but instead of coming back down, we're going to sweep the arm forward, gently hinging in our hips, coming over to the other side and continuing to the side bend. Now, we're going to take it a little bit further. We're going to open our chest, gently looking to the sky before continuing on with this movement. Gently hinging forward, sweeping our arms from one side to the other, opening. Feel how that little tilt of the shoulders changes the stretch in our shoulders and our back. All at your own pace, however it feels good for you. We'll do one more on each side, and we will continue on. And coming back to center. We'll now do a nice spinal twist whenever you're ready. So staying in that seated position, I'm going to take my left hand to my right knee. My right arm gently reaches behind me. And we don't have to do anything extreme here. We want to stay up tall as we twist towards our back shoulder. Keep checking in with yourself here. Maybe if you make a little bit of adjustment to your spine, maybe opening your chest a little bit further. Does that feel good for you? Keeping our body as it is, let's turn just our head to gaze over that front shoulder. Releasing just our head, keeping the body as is. We're going to take our right hand or back arm up and over our body like it's going on diagonal towards our left knee. So my left hand is still pulling on my right knee, and I can use this to help open myself as much as I want. Deepen the stretch as far as you want to go. And you can really use the power of your fingertips here. By how much you want to pull, you can deepen as far as you would like to go. Let's release. Come back to center, and we'll set up for the other side. So now my right hand is reaching for my right knee, sitting up nice and tall. My left fingertips reach behind me. My gaze goes over my left shoulder. Feel free to adjust as many times as you need until it feels good for you. With this pose and every pose that we do, you always have that option. Leaving our body as it is, we're going to turn just our gaze to look over our front shoulder. Whenever you're ready, we can release our gaze, release our arms, and come back to center. And we'll continue on. Let's come to tabletop, hands and knees. Now we're trying to get our knees under hips, hands under shoulders. So we're going to do that cat-cow again, but now we get to deepen the stretch a little bit further. So now starting with our tailbone, moving as slowly as we possibly can, we're going to go through those inhales and exhales and take as much time as you want here. So I'm going to lift my tailbone, dropping my belly, opening my chest, and looking up as I inhale. And as I exhale, I'm curving my tailbone, pushing through my belly and my shoulders, dropping my head. And continuing on, all at your own speed. Make sure you're listening to yourself before anything else here. If it feels good for you, you stay there as long as you would like. And if you don't like it, you are so welcome to move on. When we get down to our next cow, where our belly is low, we're going to pause here and just sway our hips side to side. See how that changes the stretch, where you feel it in your body. And when you're ready, we'll press up into that cat. And we'll do the same, swaying side to side. And when you're ready, we can come back to center. And we'll move into our spinal twist. So I'm going to take my right hand below me to support me. My left arm, I'm going to reach up and open, opening my chest, reaching high into the sky. And when you're ready, we're going to send the back of our arm down to the ground. So we're on our side of the face, back of our arm, and our knees. If you'd like to, you can stay here, or you can also take your top arm, lifting it up and over your back. You can tuck it in behind your hip. You can use this here to press yourself open a little bit further if you want to. And you can also adjust your hands by sending your fingers further from your body. You can deepen the stretch. And if it's too much, you bring them closer. You do whatever feels good for you. If you'd like to take this stretch a step further, you can take your top arm and reach it up and over, connecting your bicep to your ear and taking your fingertips to the ground. Now here you're getting a nice side stretch. You can also reach forward with your fingertips to deepen the stretch. When you're ready, we'll bring that top arm back to support us. We will slowly unwind our bodies and come back where we came from, reaching our fingertips high into the sky before setting up for the other side. So now my left hand is coming down to support me, while my right hand reaches high up into the sky, opening my chest. And then I'm sending that arm down, back of my arm, and down to my face. Again, feel free to take that modification if you'd like. Feel free to adjust your twist as many times as you need to till it's comfortable for you. Whenever you're ready, if you'd like to take that next step, you can take that top arm, connecting your bicep to your ears, connecting fingertips to the earth, gently opening up our side body. When you're ready, we can bring that top arm back to support us. Slowly unwinding, reaching back up into the sky, and coming back to center. Wonderful. Now staying on all fours, we're going to do some dips in our shoulders to open our chest. So we're in all fours, but I'm going to take my hands just slightly further apart than they were before and maybe slightly forward. Feel free to adjust this for you as everyone's body is different. But what we're going to be doing is dropping one shoulder down towards the ground, pressing it in. And then when you're ready, we're going to swing up and drop our shoulder over to the other side. This works on both opening our chest and shoulders, and it helps us with mobility. Mobility also doesn't have to be anything extreme. We can take these basic poses, bring in little movements, and show some much needed love to our joints. Do one more on each side and come back to center. Wonderful. Coming back to our tabletop, bringing in our hands, I'm going to simply flip my toes and lift my hips up into our downward dog. Now, feel free to adjust this for where it feels good for you. So if you feel like there's a lot of extra pressure in your back, just bend your knees. Allow your pelvis to tilt so your back can straighten and release, so you can really press through your arms towards your thighs. You can stay there if it feels good for you. And then if you'd like, we can walk out the back of our legs to stretch them out. So one foot, then the other, gently pressing it down. When you're ready, we're going to move on. So I'm bringing my left foot to support me, bringing my right toes up into the air, and let's do some ankle circles while we're here. So we'll do 3 circles in each direction. You can also come down to your knee if you don't want to hold yourself up here. That's totally fine. Big reach before we either take our foot and place it between our hands, or we crunch it into our chest and place it down. Our back knee goes down to support us, and we'll sit and open up our groin area. So you can stay here if you want to, up on your hands, that's no problem. You could even be in front of a couch. You can have your hands holding on. You can have a block underneath your hips to hold you if you want. Or if you want more, you can always take your arm on the inside of your knee, and you can come down to your forearms or down to your belly or face. I'm going to stay up today because I'm a little tight, and that's okay. You can also start up higher, and the longer you sink into it, you can try going a little bit further. So it is scientifically proven that it takes your body 90 to 120 seconds to speak to your nervous system to tell it that it's okay to release your muscles here. So anywhere that you're looking to get a little bit further in your stretch, or anywhere that you're wanting to gain flexibility, just sit in your favorite pose just for a couple of minutes. Let that inner dialogue happen. Let your muscles and your brain talk to each other and say, even though you are feeling discomfort, you are still safe. And then over time, you'll feel your muscles start to let go and release. I think this is a great practice for almost everywhere in life. How many situations are we uncomfortable and our minds tell us that we're in grave danger? But anytime we want, we can come back to this place. We've practiced it now. Discomfort doesn't mean danger. Everything's going to be okay. If you're down on your forearms or down on your face, let's gently bring ourselves back up to our hands. And we're going to do a little opening of our hip. So I'm going to take my right toe and I'm rolling my foot over my pinky toe. So I'm kind of going towards the top of my foot. So that's rolling. And at the same time, I'm going to press my hip or my knee away with my right hand. You can gently curve towards, dipping your left hip down, however it feels good for you. Bringing that knee back in, bringing our hands to support us, back to all fours. We're going to press up to that downward dog and set up for the other side. So your heels never have to be touching the ground here, just reaching for the ground. Chest always pressing through our shoulders. And now we'll do the left side. So my right foot's going to come down to support me as my left foot points high into the sky. I'm going to circle my ankle 3 times in one direction. Circle it 3 times in the other. Before taking that foot and placing it between our hands, or can crunch it in, stamp it in between. Taking our knee back. We can stay here if we want, or you can take your left hand on the inside of your left knee and come down to your forearms, belly, whatever's comfortable for you. Let's sink in. Check in with yourself. Make sure you're still taking those nice deep breaths. Give yourself permission to let go. When you're ready, we can move on, bring ourselves back up to our hands. And now I'm taking my left pinky, rolling over my pinky to the top side of my foot, and I'm pressing my left knee away with my hand. You can also gently dip that right hip and twist towards the left knee if you want to. When you're ready, we'll bring our foot back, bring our left hand back down to support us, and we're going to step both knees back, and we're going to sit back into a child's pose, which is our resting pose. So knees can be together for a more spine stretch, or knees can be apart. So we're just gonna walk our hands out forward. I like to really ground my hips down here and use this as kind of a spine stretch. So I walk out with my fingertips until I'm nice and long. And then you can keep it activated here to keep that length, or whenever you're ready, you can sink in. Take a few deep breaths here before moving on. Find your way back to that calm. Know you can come back here anytime that you need by just speaking to yourself, deciding how you want to feel, letting go of the rest. When you're ready, we'll come back up to center. We'll do our last stretch here today. So we're going to do a seated hip stretch. Now this one can be done a couple of different ways. You do however it feels comfortable for you. We are going to be stacking our legs. So if this doesn't feel good for you, you can have your legs more parallel. So if you want, you can have one leg parallel in front of you and just try to cross the other one over till you have two straight lines. You can do that. If you want to, you can bring one knee more in front of you, crossing that leg over and bringing the feet to both of your hip sides. So this is going to look really different on everyone. When I first started, I was all the way up here. So slowly over time, you make your way. But if you'd like to have your knees stacked, feet to our sides, we're simply going to reach forward as far as we want to, as far as feels comfortable with our fingertips. And we're going to sit in here for just a minute. So again, you can stay up tall if you want. If this feels good for you, go ahead. And then if you want to, you can reach forward. Now in hip stretches is I feel like where I have to talk to my nervous system the most. My hips and my muscles will just be shaking, trying to hold on. And I have to actually talk to myself and say, no, you don't have to hold on for dear life. Everything's okay. Just let go. You give yourself permission and feel the nice release. Take some nice deep breaths here. When you're at home doing your own practice, I'd love for you to stay in these poses as long as it feels good for you. Especially these hip poses work really well when they're held for extended periods of time. So you find your favorite pose and then you do it to your heart's content. For now, we're going to try to gently unwind. You can pick up your leg if you'd like, bring it to the side. And we'll do just some simple windshield wipers just to release that hip before we move on to the other side. We're just going to drop our knees side to side, feeling that little curve in our hip joint. And then we'll move to the other side. So you can have your legs stacked, you can have your knees stacked. Heels should be by our sides. Find a comfortable position. You can stay up tall if you want to, or we can reach forward little bits with our hands and sink in. Let's enjoy the last few moments here before we move on. Let's bring ourselves back up, gently unwinding our legs. We'll do those windshield wipers one more time. Wonderful. Please give yourself a big thank you for taking time for yourself today. Now we prepare for Shavasana. Whenever you are ready, please lie down on your back, keeping your legs wider than your hips, and let your feet fall apart. Bring the arms to the side of the body, palms facing up, shoulders relaxed and away from the ears. As you lie here, allow your body to settle deeply into the mat. Let go of any tension you may be holding and soften into this resting pose. Let go of any thoughts or worries that may arise. Observe them without judgment and allow them to drift away. Begin to notice the sensations in your body, starting with your feet. Feel the weight of your feet on the mat, and then gently release the tension in your ankles, calves, and thighs. Slowly move your awareness up your body, noticing any areas where tension may be present. Release the tension in your hips, abdomen, chest, and shoulders. Relax your arms and hands, allowing them to rest fully on the mat. Release the tension in your neck and face, and let your forehead soften. Continue to breathe deeply, feeling the rhythm of your breath. With each big inhale, you can feel the breath entering and filling you with peace. With each exhale, you release any worries or stress. There are no expectations of you here, no tasks to be completed, no one who needs you to care for them. There is nothing needed of you now other than to be with yourself. You are safe, supported, and at peace. Continue to breathe and rest in this space for however feels right for you.